Imagine it's 2004. You've just unboxed this odd, shiny gadget that looks more like a makeup box than anything you'd actually play games on. It got 2 screens, a stylus you'll probably lose, and a microphone that Nintendo, for some reason, wants you to blow into like you're stoking a tiny campfire. This was the Nintendo DS. Back then, critics called it a gimmick. They figured Sony's PlayStation Portable would absolutely wipe the floor with it, with better graphics and a cooler vibe. But the DS didn't just hang in there. It straight up dominated, selling 154 million units and becoming the king of the playground. Of course, nothing lasts forever, so here we are. Looking back at the DS's final days and the last game to stumble onto the scene, Disney's Big Hero 6: Battle in the Bay. The DS years were wild. This was a system teaching your grandma to train her brain, letting you wash imaginary puppies in Nintendogs, and sending you on Pokemon adventures, all while the rest of the world was caught up in a tech arms race. At home, the console wars were in full swing, with Xbox 360 and PS3 battling it out. On the go, the PSP was the cool rebel playing movies and looking slick, while the DS was the oddball in the corner, busy with Mario Kart and Pokemon Diamond. But time moves fast. The iPhone dropped in 2007 and suddenly everyone had a touchscreen in their pocket. By 2011, the 3DS was ready to take over, nudging its older sibling towards retirement. Still, the original DS refused to die. It hung on, living off bargain bin games and the occasional licensed surprise, until finally, in 2014, it was time to say goodbye. Usually when a legendary console bows out, it does it with style, some epic Zelda quest or a Mario game that changes everything. And the DS, it went out with a licensed movie game. Disney Big Hero 6: Battle in the Bay landed in late 2014, almost 10 years after the DS first showed up. By then, the PS4 and Xbox One were already old news. The DS was ancient, but Disney and Game Mill Entertainment decided to squeeze out one last game. So what's the game like? Honestly, it's exactly what you'd expect from a 2014 movie tie-in on a system from 2004. It's a 2D side-scroller. You play as Hiro, Wasabi, Fred, and Go-Go from the movie. Did I forget someone? Right, Baymax, the giant inflatable robot everyone loves. Even while he barely shows up, he's just a glorified power-up. Imagine buying a Batman game and getting to play as Alfred, with Batman occasionally tossing you a sandwich. Reviews were, let's just say, not glowing. Nintendo Life gave it a 4 out of 10. The platforming works, but that's about it. Combat means mashing a button until the bad guy pops out of existence. It's the sort of game you'd find in a gas station bargain bin and think, yeah, my nephew likes robots, that'll keep him busy for a bit. And the graphics? The poor DS was wheezing. Everything is blurry, backgrounds repeat. The movie's charm is nowhere to be found. But hey, it runs, it doesn't crash. In the world of licensed shovelware, that's almost a miracle. So why bother releasing this game in 2014? Why even make something for the DS when the 3DS had already been out for ages? Simple, numbers. In 2014, tons of kids still had their old DS Lite or DSi rattling around in their backpacks, and making a simple 2D game for DS was cheap. Parents who hadn't upgraded yet would see Disney and grab it for a quiet car ride. It wasn't about breaking new ground, it was about squeezing the last few drops out of a really good thing. So the DS era didn't go out with a bang. It finished with a quiet, slightly awkward hug from a budget Baymax. There's something fitting about that. The DS started as a weird experiment, a third pillar that was never meant to replace the Game Boy. It ended up as the best-selling handheld ever, proving you don't need the flashiest graphics. You just need some imagination, and maybe 2 screens. Rest easy, Nintendo DS. Thanks for the Pokemon, Professor Layton, and all those scratched up touchscreens. We'll forgive you for Battle in the Bay, eventually.